But anyway, let's go into topic number one, shall we? Oh, actually, I wanted to do something first. So I'm sure you guys saw this. This is incredible. This isn't really even a topic, but did you guys see about this guy that turned in his comic book collection?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you have more information about it. So I've got photos here. I'm going to kind of just scroll. So this guy literally turned in, and I can't remember what the starting date was. It was in the like maybe 30s, 30s, maybe 40s. He has every single issue, DC issue from the 30s or 40s, whenever it was, until
DC started in 1933.
Okay, so he started then, and he has every single issue up until now.
Yeah, his name is Ian Levine. He's from England. He has been collecting these for decades. He was very close to completing his DC collection maybe 10 years ago, and he was very active on the CGC boards, getting help finding the last remaining issues. Most of them were like obscure romance comics that DC did in the 1950s. And he did it. He completed the collection. He held on to it for a while. And then a few years ago, he consigned it to Sotheby's on the condition that they sell it as a single lot.
Wow.
and his price was $10 million.
Oh my gosh.
And so Sotheby's attempted that for a couple of years. They were not able to find a buyer. So now it's going to a different auction house. They go up for auction, I think, in October or November of this year. And I'm unclear whether they're being sold individually or as lots by title or the whole thing. I'm not sure how they're doing it. But a complete DC collection, it's a lot of comics for sure, because you're talking about not just superhero books, but westerns and romance and horror and all kinds of stuff. So,
yeah, it's all this random stuff. Like, I mean, stuff I had never seen before, but it's just like even stuff that predates Batman and Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Which was just, again, really exciting. And it's just so much fun to see these covers. I mean, stuff that
these
we
are
really
cool.
had.
So these are pre-Batman detectives. The first 26 issues of Detective did not include Batman. So it's just various crime covers that are really, really well done.
And that's just so cool.
That's the first appearance of Green Lantern ever.
It's just insane. Of course, very famous Detective Comics cover right there.
Like 31. Look at that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the condition of these are. I mean, they look like they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to vary because he bought all these secondhand. It's not like this is an original owner collection. This guy's just like any other comic collector. He was collecting back issues.
Really?
So, yeah.
You know how hard that would be? Like how long that, I mean, that is insane.
Well, you got to have a lot of money. That's for sure. But a lot of those books are going to end up being restored. They're not going to be unrestored copies, especially the keys, the Action one, the Batman one, Detective 27, Superman one, all that stuff. So I'm really curious because, as you saw, they're all raw now.
Yeah.
But to get top dollar, he has to have those certified by CGC. So
yeah,
I'm really curious whether the auction house is going to be doing that, or are they actually going to be offering all this stuff raw? Because no big time collector is going to spend $1 million on an Action One without knowing if all the pages are there.
Yeah,
or whether it's restored, and if it's restored, what the level of restoration is. So it'll be curious to see how it all plays out, but that's the story of that collection.
At least the major books. I mean, I would do, especially the big dollar ones. I mean, there might be some in there that will get some money, but not, top dollar.
There's a lot of big dollar books in there.
Oh my gosh.
Books.
So I have a question. So, like a lot of times, like you'll be on the show and you'll say that there's 4 in existence of a book. Yeah. When this guy comes out of the woodwork, and maybe no one even knew of this guy until he starts, ruffling some feathers and saying, "Hey, I've got a $10 million sale here going."
Yeah.
Does that now say now there's 4? Now there's 5 in existence? Like, does that happen very often?
No. When I make that comment, I'm talking about certified copies. I'm talking about slab copies that are in the registry at CGC or at CBCS. So yeah, if he gets these certified, that will increase the census numbers on all those books, and that'll be accounted for. But yeah, no, there's still raw copies out there, and there's a lot of guys like me in their 50s or older who never went the certified route. I did myself, but some collectors don't like to have their comics entombed, they say. And so they keep them raw. In fact, some of the best comic collections in the country are not certified for insurance purposes. So the best DC collection in the country is owned by a dentist in Virginia. Oh. He has all the top copies of all the DC keys. Wow. So, and then the top Marvel collection, Golden Age, is owned by a family in Texas, collected by, his name was John Virgil. He passed away a few years ago, really nice guy. But his family has not sold the collection. They have kept it. And we're talking about complete runs of Captain America, Marvel Mystery, all the top titles in top condition. Wow. They are not slabbed. They are all raw. So it's a real pleasure if you get to visit any of those people to sit down and flip through some of these books with pristine white pages and vibrant colors on the covers. And it's really something else. So yeah, there's still a lot of comics out there that are not certified. But boy, oh boy, there's fewer and fewer every year.
That's crazy. Well, Dan, it sounds like you have to make a road trip to Virginia.
I would love to see that. But Jeff, do you have a sense as to how many books a complete DC collection is?
I'd have to look it up. Ian, it was certainly a topic of conversation when Ian was putting the collection together. I want to say between 10 and 20,000, but it seems like it should be more than that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to look it up.
And I don't know how much you know about it, but I'm really curious. Like, is it all of the real, like, Captain America in outer space? Like, is it all the super small, like, mini run, every book?
You're talking about the DC or the
DC. Sorry, I know I used Captain America, but like,
it's literally every DC comic published. Yes, wow. So it's everything.
That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was funny. The hardest ones to find were really obscure, like romance titles that there aren't that many left because few people kept them over the years.
Wow. So I have one other question. So I just got my CGCs back that I submitted for the very first time. I shared that with you guys. I haven't shared it with the public yet because, of course, I did a video. But so you said, like, so my books that I submitted, that goes into a registry?
Yeah, it's in the census now.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, you can go to the CGC site, and there's a thing called CGC Lookup, and you can enter in the code number on your label for any of the books you got certified. And it will bring up all the information about that book, including any notes that the graders might have left on the titles. Like you had one, I think, that came back 7.0.
I did, yes. It was my 1986.
Yeah, that might have graders' notes telling you what is wrong with that book that made them grade it that low.
So if it needed to be pressed or something like that, it might change.
Yeah, it might say non-breaking creases, lower left-hand corner front cover, that sort of thing.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. So that's really neat. I'm just so impressed with the fact that it is registered. Now, does it have a database for like current value on that as well, or not? Not really.
It links. If you look it up, it links. I think it links to GPA and will give you a value for that one title. You can do that. Yeah.
It's really neat. It's really cool. So anyway, again, it was a non-topic that turned into a topic, but I mean, how great is it to see those books? I mean, that was just a few, but like, could you imagine like him turning those in and be like, here's what I got? Like, oh my God, it's just insane.
Right.
So cool. So cool.
It's big for that auction house too. I've never heard of them before. So this has gotten a lot of attention and kind of puts them on the map.
I was going to say, you'll know about them now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's for sure. God, I wonder, it'll be interesting to see how much they go for, because I can't even, especially if, well, again, hopefully they get graded. I mean, I would assume that they would want to do that, or at least the auction house would want to pay to have that done.
Well, normally the auction house has it done, and then they subtract the cost of that from what they pay out to the owner.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or even if they can cut a deal with CGC and just say, hey, look at what we're bringing to you.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. So we'll see.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.